Hi, this is Michael, and today we're looking at the euro versus the Aussie dollar. So the EURAUD chart long term. Now, if you go to some um, websites, they give you historical rates, and you can go back as 1953. Just look it up. And basically, what we have here is an A wave, A, B, C. Right now, this here is the reason why I believe the Aussie dollar will outperform the euro in the next move that's coming, right? So that's going to happen because this pattern suggests that the euro will weaken against the Aussie dollar. So therefore, what is the pattern? Now, this is not a new idea I've had. It actually goes back a year or two. But the reason why it's taken so long to get here is because of this expanded correction at the small degree, which I'll get to in a minute. But what we're expecting here is an E wave down in this pattern. So we have an A, B, C, D, E is coming. So you could almost draw a comparison between this chart and the USD CAD because it's very similar in a way. And you've got your A, B, C, your D, and your E, almost very similar style of pattern. Not exact, but you know, you could use your imagination, right? So what that means is that E wave at the small degree can be shorted on this chart as well. So when would we short it? Well, let's take a closer look. Now, I've called a short on this before, and that only ended up being um, a larger part of a larger wave two correction, which you got to love the waves. They wreck you when you're not careful, especially when you get expanded corrections. So, profits can be made, but you got to be careful with these type of things when they happen. So, you got to pick up on them early, take profits where needed. But now we're looking at a series of charts, including the US dollar, the Aussie dollar, and the euro Aussie dollar. So, this suggests we had a wave one down from the March 2020 highs coming down in wave one. We had an ABC pattern happen at the small degree, and then the D expanded down. Well, the D wave itself is not expanded, but being a larger D wave, it expanded the correction down, and then that's why it came back up. Now, I always say corrections tend to end near near the end of the first move. So wave two tends to end near the end of the first move, or a zigzag wave B tends to end near the end of the first move, wave A. So very similar thing. What I can see now here potentially is that this pattern here had the wave A, and then we had an A, B, C, D, E. Looks more than likely the case, and this is on the fly analysis, by the way. And then you had your C wave for the D wave. Once again, B wave ended near the end of the first A wave, and the correction looked to be done. But obviously, once you get this type of weakness, that doesn't look like wave three. So even if you thought it might have been, it didn't happen. That's because, yeah, it wasn't time yet. So those are the type of pieces of evidence you can look for. If something doesn't move down the way it should, then obviously you've got to be careful with that. But you can take profits if you've made any, depending when you got in. But now we can see a more complete picture. So we've got an A, B, C, D, E. Look, has this terminated yet? That's a good question. I would say probably not, for some reason. We haven't exactly touched that line yet, but also at the highs, I can see a zigzag pattern and weakness. So correction here, probably a D and E. Might go for one more high before turning around. So in the short term, we might see some strength in the euro that's a bit more than the Aussie dollar. But when this is done, it's going to flip and you'll see Aussie dollar take off compared to the euro. So, I mean, it's taken this long for me to make this video, and that's because of this pattern. It's just crazy. So going down to smaller degree wave E, let's try and see what's on the chart here. So looks like a weak 5-wave move to begin, right? I can see a 3-wave move here, here, and here. Wave 1, 2, and then looks like a 3 there. You can see the long part in the middle, the strong point, midpoint of the wave 3 right there roughly, but no overlapping waves, which is good. So 1, 2, 3. So that's the midway point. So potentially we have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to the highs maybe, depending on the corrective portion of this move. Could see the high up here, and then we'd have to start looking for ABC. This will tell us whether or not, we're still correcting or whether this is the top. So best to do a good job here. So first move down looks like a zigzag here, then you got a bounce, and then you got potentially a C, a D, and E. Okay, so maybe we are topped out. Maybe we have topped out. This is why it pays to look at the small degree waves, A, B, C, D, E. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, it's potentially done. Okay, and how will we know for sure? Well, depending on what we have here, this is, pretty choppy. I thought that was weak wave E, but it could actually be, well, unless this is still a 4-5 for the previous 3. I don't know. It doesn't look like it. The midpoint's down here, and we have. Okay, best way to know, if we break this low here. If we break this low here, that's probably going to be the best confirmation. Because the alternative could be if this is probably less than likely a 5-wave move. Like you could say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all you like, but step back for a moment. Does it actually look like a 5-wave move? Well, no, not really, I suppose. It looks like a zigzag, doesn't it? So in that case, confirmation bias out the way. What else could it be? This kind of looks corrective. So maybe what it is a weak 5-wave move, right? So this could be wave 1. We might be able to see now maybe wave 2. We might be going up for wave 3, come back, wave 4, wave 5. Something like that could happen. But still, In saying that, a break of this line would confirm it, and that's true. But if you start to see this type of thing play out, right? Well, hang on a minute. We've already had a weak 5-wave move to start this off. So does that seem likely? Like, is that what's happening here? All right, step back. Well, what about if the first move up was a 5-wave move and those zigzags are part of the correction? Okay, we have a 5-wave move there. We have a 3, A, B. Could you say that's C? Doesn't look like a C. So these are the types of steps that you take. Is wave B expanded? A, 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 B, C, D, E. Okay, cool. So maybe wave B is expanded. So you get 5 and then potential expansion, A, B, C, D, E, and then 5. So, okay, cool. So let's run that back again. So A, what did I say again? 5, A, B, C, D. All right, up to here, here. So up to the highs, C, D, E. Cool, all right, no worries. So it looks like potentially wave 2 ended here, wave 2 here. Okay, so that's the kind of expansion that you look for. If you really want to go deep, you should go deep. If you care about your capital, go deep. It also helps you make sense of things. Okay, so great. So given that, what does that look like? Well, you had a 5-wave move there, you had a correction, and then you have another 5-wave move. Oh, wow. Okay, so are you telling me that maybe this could be a weak 5-wave move in general, and wave 1 is actually up here? So we have 1, okay, potentially, but why would wave 2 be so sharp? Is it possible? Well, 1, 2. Do you have any else like a zigzag pattern going on here? Maybe. Well, maybe, but how would you look at that? All right. Well, firstly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe an A wave there, and then we did see a correction before. Was it up to here or up to there? A, B, C, D, E. Could there be C, D, E among that? It could be. So maybe it's A, B, C, D. Nope, that doesn't fit. So what does fit is a 5-wave move, I suppose, potentially, with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A. Okay, so maybe that could be a sharp wave too, for some reason. I don't know why. We've got A, we've got correction. So is this C here? So is this wave 3? Well, it can't be because then you need another zigzag and you've already broken that low. So that can't be right. Okay, so in that case, what about this being wave 3 up here? This being a 3 here. Okay, is it possible? Depends. How long is this compared to the zigzag you saw up here? Well, it's shorter. So it can't be that either. Great. So we're still stuck with this potential for 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's go back to that. 1, and then back to A, B, C. Oh, could this whole thing be a D? No, not really. All right. What else you got? C, D. All right. So let's go back to the potential. That's 2. About there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Could be a short, small 4 there. Sharp 4, 5. That could be 3. Okay. So if that's a potential there, then we put 3 up here. All right. And then what? So maybe we've got A, B, C, D, E. Okay, that actually looks almost right. So then 4 here, 5 here. Okay. No rules broken there. Wave 3 is not the shortest. Wave 1, 2, 3. So we've got, I suppose, the 2 expanded. It wasn't sideways, kind of expanded up. And then you've got alternation with a expanded B wave, C, D, E. Okay, I'm good with that. Okay, that makes sense. So that means we'd have to break this low, which we have. Cool. So maybe it is topped out. That's how I look at the chart. That's how I determine. You run every possible scenario through it and you try to draw the conclusion. So now we just label these as such. And then, okay, so we've already got confirmation of a break of previous wave 4 in a move that only has simple 5-wave structure. Okay, so we haven't done anything weird, but we've kind of looked at the waves and sort of determined that potentially this is a messy wave E done. And then, so what do we do next? Well, we look at how it started. So we have 5-wave move, sharp A maybe, B, C. No, that looks like a zigzag. Um, well, I suppose it could be a CDE pattern. Looks like a zigzag in the middle. All right, potentially. What if? If that's true, then the rest of it's got to make sense. 1, 1A, B, C, D, E. Okay. Maybe. Still a bit iffy on that one. All right. So what else? Okay. Well, what about A, B, C, D, E? Okay. That does look like a 5-wave move. What's with this then? Is that a 5-wave move here? Is it overlapping? Barely not. Okay. Just perfect. Not overlapping. Okay, cool. Well, that could be a wave 3 then. Which means, given the sort of sideways nature of this correction, potentially we'll see a short and sharp one here, and then we'd have to see another wave down for 5 to be, like a wave 1 or something. So previous wave 4 of wave 3, maybe it goes a bit higher for the correction, and then we see wave 5. This line no longer matters. In fact, it can be moved up here. That's sort of the confirmation area. So yeah, so maybe like a 5 to make at least a wave 1 down, 5-wave move, which doesn't belong there according to the previous pattern because that's not a D. We have a complete 5-wave move. So we just need to see that one more move with a potential pullback correction that has to look corrective properly in whatever way it does it. I don't know. It could expand down, continue. We just don't know. So it looks like we're getting there, but not yet. So I'll catch you in the next one.